Don't forget to head over to factsnotincluded.com/forum to join a community of fans discussing what's on their mind. Enjoy the show. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the latest episode of Facts Not Included's Movie Discussions. I'm Peter Cabranes, and of course I'm joined by Mr. Michael Votto. What's going on, Mike?
Hey guys, what's up?
So today, as you know, we're going to be talking about Rocketman, the latest movie, I guess, that's hit... No, it's not the latest film that's hit the theaters. What am I talking about? I guess we're like 2 weeks late at this point.
Yeah, a little late to the punch.
Little late, but it's still getting a lot of buzz. A lot of people are still talking about it. It's making, I think, more money than some of the newer movies that are coming out, like Men in Black and stuff like that. So, I've been dying to talk about this movie. I was more hyped about this film than Men in Black. More hyped about it than...
I think most people were.
Yeah, I think I was pretty excited about it. I kind of forgot it was even a thing for a while now. Like it kind of like left my radar. It wasn't on top of my radar.
Yeah, this movie was definitely a sleeper.
Yeah, I didn't remember.
Definitely
Like,
a sleeper.
I was doing research that apparently Disney had this movie in development like over 10, 15 years ago with
Wow.
Elton John. And a lot of the issues with this film was that they didn't want to keep it R. He wanted to have that sex scene in the movie and wanted to have a lot of like, you know, I don't want to call it raunchy, but like, you know, a lot of the adult theming that's...
He wanted adult themes in his
Yeah.
biopic, which is understandable.
And
of
a
course.
lot of producers and stuff, a lot of higher ups were like, no, we got to put it PG-13. And then especially after Bohemian Rhapsody came out recently, they were like, well, that worked and it was PG-13, so why don't we cut this down a little bit? And I forgot who released Rocketman, but they were even thinking about it. So he's had trouble for a decade about trying to get this movie done. Finally, they get it made, and even at the very tail end of this film's release, they were like even thinking about it, changing it up, which is, you know, it's strange. But Dexter Fletcher, he's the guy that he went in there and he finished Bohemian Rhapsody. He also produced Bohemian Rhapsody.
The champion, because that film, how long did that film take to get made?
Another one that was in the right, like I think since
In hell, in development hell.
another movie that's been over 10 years in development. Yeah, and so like he went to go fix it at the end, and he helped it out. And so I was reading an article that they talked about how he saw that, okay, this movie is very grounded, it's biographical, while my movie's gonna be a bit different, and I'm gonna tackle them very differently. And you could see that like these are not similar at all by any stretch of the imagination.
No. Two very similar as in the subject, I guess. You know, you have two rock stars, you know, struggling with their own identity issues. But yeah, the movies themselves are completely in style and in tone completely different.
Yeah, and I guess the release of this film comes out at the perfect timing. It's Pride Month. It's smack dab in the middle of his like tour, of his retirement tour, which you actually got to go see.
Which yours truly has actually seen. Yeah.
I hate you still for going to.
Those tickets, those put a good dent in my wallet. Those are not cheap.
How is he now? At like, what is he, 72? Like,
He's 72 years old. I mean, I was blown away, and you know, it's been honest. I knew Elton John was. I wasn't like a mega fan. You know, I knew like the greatest hits, but it wasn't something I really listened to. Like, you know, I wouldn't go on Spotify and like select his songs as like, you know, just something to recreationally listen to. But the whole reason I got the tickets was because of my mom's birthday, which falls just right around Christmas time. And she's a huge Elton John fan. She actually saw him twice. She saw him in I think it's the 1979 or 1980 Central Park concert, which you can actually find on YouTube.
Oh, yeah,
so
I've seen that.
That was a recorded event. So she was there. And I think she said she saw him in the '90s, and I think he played with Paul Simon. Not 100%, I might be wrong,
Nice.
but she also got tickets to that. So I thought, what would be a better, you know, birthday slash Christmas gift than to do that? I mean, it's friggin' Elton John. Obviously, he's a superstar, and see this a legend perform live. Because to be honest, there's not that many legends left. Let's be honest, in that era.
Right.
Not in playing shape. So this is honestly a once in a lifetime opportunity, and so he says this is his last touring concert. So I bit the bullet and went, and I all my expectations were beyond exceeded. I mean, it was fantastic. Like seriously, the dude is 72, and I mean the concert, the production guys, his voice was got a lot deeper, so he doesn't really have the same inflection obviously in the albums, but it's 40 years ago.
Right. Yeah.
But still, I mean, I was just honestly, I was blown away. Like my mom was blown away. I was like, just wow, like this dude did all the greatest hits, and just to hear him and see him live and just see him speak and sing and just do his thing, and damn, no, it was nuts. It was just crazy, and I'm so happy I did it.
I would go just to see what outfits he would wear. Like, I'm sure
Yeah,
he wore.
he wore like a composer's robe. Of course, it's got his name embroidered in it, so it's a little flamboyant. And then I don't remember his second costume, but I do remember his last costume very well. So for the final act, he comes out, smoke and everything, and he's in his pajamas. And he's in slippers, so he's in nighttime garb, and he played like three songs like that, and it was just hilarious. It was great. It was so funny, but it was just so him, and I just loved it. It was just so like I don't give a fuck. It was just so out there.
I'm looking at pictures of him on the tour, and these outfits are fucking so strange.
Outrageous, yeah.
I mean, they're nothing compared to what he used to wear.
Not at all. It was really tame. It was rather tame, but the pajamas was just really funny.
It's still not something you would catch your average person.
No, the average piano player does not wear those costumes now.
What blows my mind about his story, and I guess we can, talk about the movie, is that he apparently the movie, because obviously if you're listening to this, you've seen the movie. They show the moment where his family realizes that he's a phenomenal piano talent, and they're like, oh, we bring him to get piano lessons, and then his teacher thinks he's good enough for a scholarship. And twice in the film, earlier on, they show that he's able to memorize sound and tone, and he's able to play it right after. So that is apparently true, that he was able and is still able to do that. And I thought that was like fascinating, because I have a friend in high school. He was a bass player, and that kid, the first time he hears a song is the only time he ever needs to hear that song to play it right back. And that's bass. Bass is like you barely the average person can't even hear a bass, like really understand what that sound is. And Elton John was like doing that with the piano, and I'm like, what? I wish I was that like gifted.
Yeah, no, that's all born innate talent. Yeah, I think that's just raw talent right there.
And
yeah,
and I'm glad they did show that in the film, that like this guy is not just a guy who out of nowhere was like, I'm gonna open my mouth and start singing, and I'm gonna pick up piano lessons out of the whim. It's like, no, I actually had this talent, and I then molded that into becoming a superstar.
Well, it was pretty realistic. They actually went to an academy of music and studied. It's not like you just I'm a child prodigy. I don't need any training. Like he actually had to go to school and learn how to play.
And then reality set in, where he doesn't become super famous early on, like when he's a teenager. It still takes a couple of more years. But the guy's been playing professionally, I guess, since he was in his early 20s? Or something?
Yeah, probably like that, like 20, 21. I'm not sure the exact age, but he's been playing since the early 70s.
So 50
at least.
Plus...
Like albums coming out under his, Elton John pseudonym.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's a career to look at and just go, wow. If only you're a bit jealous about it.
Yeah, no, not everyone has a life like that.
No, not at all.
But his life's a lot of downturns too.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I was reading. I don't know if you saw this. One of his brothers from his father's second life, you know,
Mm-hmm.
is angry at the film's portrayal of their father, saying that their dad
Really?
wasn't like that. Uh, he truly did love his son Elton, and so on and so on. And you know, we don't know. Maybe it's just the brother trying to get publicity, being that the movie's out. Maybe it is true. Like, it's
Yeah,
sad. Let's be honest. It's sad that that even has to be a story. That even like the fact that that could even be reality. That his father
that
was
is
actually like
true.
that. Like, that's how I see it. It's like
Mm.
regardless. It's like the fact that that's even thought of is pretty fucked up. And his mom too. Like his mom, at least according to the movie, what a heartless asshole.
Yeah, I mean, his mom was more accepting of him, and his dad was just like kind of neglected him more or less, just based on the movie. But at least, I mean, the mom didn't resent him, but she was still, yeah, she was still twisted.
Yeah. Um, I, what did you? Okay, so what did you think about the the take the movie had, like in regards to it being more fantasized? Did you going in? Did you go like, oh, I don't think this is gonna work? Like,
I thought, like, just before I went in, I thought it wasn't going to work, to be honest. I wasn't too crazy about that, just because, I was used to Bohemian Rhapsody and how it was kind of like attempting to be kind of like a semi-realistic portrayal of the events and nothing too nuts. But it grew on me as the film. I thought it was a little stupid at first, but I think as the film started to go on, I kind of I kind of started to grow to love it. Kind of it caught my attention. I kind of just understand why they did it.
yet I think it was Antonio, if I'm not mistaken, that he was like, once I noticed that he was in rehab and stuff started happening, he goes, I took it from there because it was the understanding that this is a dream, this is a flashback type of like this is what um maybe it like maybe this is what I
Well, it was
hoped
a
happened in my
retelling.
life.
It was like a retelling of events. I think
Right.
that's how they were able to get away with the fact that all this was like fantastical because he was technically retelling it from his point of view. So it was almost like getting away with an embellishment
Yeah,
of the
and
truth, if
also
that makes sense.
you could go get away with hyperbole when you're telling your own story because sometimes people's own memories of their own events are a little fantasized sometimes.
That is true.
And so maybe who knows? Maybe that is how Elton views his past. It's all, flying people and all this craziness. Because
Literally being a rocket man, literally.
yeah, I mean, he was on so many drugs.
That's true.
A thing,
Yeah.
a thing that I liked that this movie did, on that because again, getting away with it, it was possible, was the events that occurred in this film and the songs that were sung during these events obviously didn't come out when those events happened. Like, for instance, "I Want Love" is not a song that came out when he was a teenager.
Exactly.
That came
Yeah,
out
yeah. Same with like Saturday Night's Alright for Fighting. Like the songs weren't in
right,
order at all. Yeah, no.
and it works in this way. You can't do that in a film like Bohemian Rhapsody, even though they did.
They did.
Um,
They did play with the timeline, so to speak.
but it's
Some
more
people weren't happy
forgivable.
about, like the
Yeah,
whole AIDS timeline wasn't really accurate.
yeah. Just like they, but I don't, and I still to this moment, to this day, I don't like what they did in Bohemian Rhapsody, pretending that his last album and his last ever public appearance was Live Aid, which is not true. Like
No, he didn't even know he had AIDS till I think it was 87. He was officially
yeah, like
diagnosed.
the year
And Live Aid was
after.
85. Yeah, so
Yeah.
he didn't even know he had AIDS when he did
Um,
Live Aid.
and they had two more albums while he was alive after Live Aid. So anyway, that's Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah, that's another fresh. That's another. We review that. So
But I'm still mad about that. But in
yeah,
Elton John's case, in Rocketman, you're able to get away with that.
exactly. Yeah.
Have you ever seen the video for "I Want Love"? I think,
No,
or "I
no.
Want to Love."
I probably have not. No.
It's awesome because all it is Robert Downey Jr. walking through a house singing the song.
Really?
It's
Huh.
great. It's great. It came out in let me see, 2001.
Doesn't work. Huh.
Yeah,
Before MCU.
before the MCU, while he was during his drug phase, Robert
Yeah.
Downey's drug phase, and so it's great. Clean shaven Robert Downey Jr. lip singing to an Elton John song. It's beautiful.
Something.
Uh, and so yeah, there's a lot of moments like that where the songs don't match, and that's fine because again, like I said, you can get away with it. Um, The boy, the little boy that plays Elton John freaked me out when I first saw the movie. I have, I don't know what this fear is, but
Hmm.
anytime, I guess because it's horror films, anytime you have like a little British kid that talks, it just
I see.
bugs me out. I'm just like, oh
Didn't
no,
didn't
murder's
creep
gonna.
me out. Didn't creep me out. I thought it was a little silly, but no, it didn't. It didn't make me afraid of
And then
anything.
his voice is so high pitched to the
That is
point where
true.
I'm just like, oh my god, this is cringy at first. I saw the movie again, didn't feel that the second time.
Mm. The thing is, I just remembered anyway when they did the Saturday Night song, and it starts with a little kid, and then it
Yeah.
goes like teenager, and then goes to adults. Taryn. It was just so weird the transition of voices. Like
It,
I thought that was kind of weird.
but then it,
If you're
but
going a little creepy.
it works so well though. Like
Yeah, no, it does. And in the context of the film, it does.
it works so well, and the energy, like, and that's so early on in the film. That's probably within the first 40 minutes, I guess, 30 minutes, or even
20, I
less.
think, might
Yeah,
have
yeah.
20 or something like that. It was pretty early in the film.
It gets to it gets you going like, oh, this is the type of movie. It's gonna be high energy. This is the type of film it's gonna be. This is awesome. That's probably one of the best musical performances in the whole film. Is the
Mm.
Saturday song. So kudos to those. Like the choreography in this film is like I felt like I was watching Grease when I saw that scene.
Yeah, yeah.
It was
Very, very Grease-esque. It was. I guess the whole song. The whole song is like a parody of an American like rock song, like would be in Grease. That whole, aesthetic.
and that's where he's gotten a lot of his influence from. I mean, they show his dad's jazz collection. He played for an
Yeah.
American band while he was in Britain, getting his
I think he loved Elvis too. I mean,
yeah,
Elvis,
Elvis. They
a
showed
lot of
that.
those guys did. Yeah.
And so it's not a surprise that he had that influence on American music. And then if you hear most of it, a lot of his songs, they have that American feel, I guess. Like and you have a song like
Yeah.
Honky Cat and Crocodile Rock. They all it's got that American feel, the American music feel to it.
Mm.
And when he sings too, he doesn't really give off. Well, not a lot of British singers sing with their British accent, but he you if you didn't know he was British while singing, I wouldn't be
That
mad
is
at you.
true.
I wouldn't be
That is
upset.
true. He really doesn't sing with an accent. No, I don't remember most of his songs don't have accents.
Yeah.
They sound very American in style and tone, and his own voice is accentless, so to speak.
So, because when I got to see this film with my mom the second time, there was not a moment after the film where she was like, "Oh, he didn't sound like Elton. He didn't look like Elton." The whole time she was going, "I would have sworn that was Elton John." She goes, I think that was a pretty spot on portrayal, and she said they did a really good job of making him Taron Egerton looking like Elton John.
Definitely, yeah. I think Taron Egerton did a fantastic job. Even the physical, just the costume and the physical portrayal was pretty accurate. And then, of course, the voice and the mannerisms. And no, I think even if it was, like I said, fantastical, it definitely made you believe that Taron kind of was doing a spot on, accurate Elton John. And for such a crazy out there movie, he definitely was trying to be like accurate to what Elton John would sound like and act like.
The one, the choice that they made that I love is the hair choice that
Mm.
throughout
I
his
barely
life.
caught that. I didn't even catch that until you mentioned that, where he was
If you
he
could
was
watch it
thinning.
again, if you watch it again or whenever you get to watch it again, just watch the whole movie. Just only pay attention to the hair, and you'll notice, yeah, over time, his hair starts thinning out, and it looks so it's done such in a natural way. You feel like it's like, oh my god, I feel bad for Taron Egerton, and not not the character Elton John.
Yeah, I know
You're
what
like,
you
oh
mean.
shit.
Yeah.
To the point where he almost goes completely bald at some point in the movie, which in real life Elton does, and then he winds up getting hair transplants in real life.
Fixed himself up. I saw him. He had a full set of hair,
Yeah,
like thick hair,
he has a whole mop up there because
more or less. Yeah, it's all plugs.
it's all been put up there for him, which I might need in the future. Who knows? It's looking like
No.
it. It's looking like it. But yeah, I I'll need to read the credits list for this film because the people that were in charge, I guess, knew what they were doing. Um, I like. Did you pick up the fact that John Reed was in this film and also in Bohemian Rhapsody?
Uh,
Did you
no, I
know?
didn't actually.
So, John Reed, for those that don't know who John Reed is, he was the band manager for Queen, and he was also Elton John's manager. But also, as you see in this movie, and as we all know in real life, he was also the lover of Elton John. So there was talk that they were going to have, as you read this too, Mike, that they were going to have Rami Malek's Freddie Mercury in this movie. But what I said was, thank goodness they didn't do that, because it would have made you think that it was like a universe thing.
A rock and roll cinematic universe.
But then you would go like, wait, there's two John Reeds, so it's like, how do you have, and they're both very different looking John Reeds. John
Yeah.
Reed, obviously in this film, he's actually Scottish, he's played with a Scottish accent. As in the Bohemian Rhapsody, it's a lighter Scottish accent. It's not as pronounced. And the guy looks completely different. So,
Yeah, you mentioned them. I thought hilarious that would be if they literally had put Rami Malek in it and then they used the same actor for John Reed, because I really thought about this is some like Marvel type shit. Like
right.
everyone's trying to copy Marvel.
Yeah.
Who's fucking that? Like Paul Simon is they're all gonna be like meet in the fucking
The Rhapsody
Avengers,
universe.
like Rocky, like supergroup Avengers type movie. Like
What? That would have been. Thank goodness whoever had that idea. Thank goodness you were shot down. I'm
yeah,
so
yeah, I
glad.
know. That would have been wacky.
That would have been. It would have made. It just wouldn't have worked.
No.
Don't get me wrong. If Freddie Mercury was in the movie, played by a different person, fine by me. But then to have the same, because then your head starts, because yeah, like you said, you start going, wait, same guy, so this must be connected. So, and then you have a headache. Your head
Yeah, like you just gotta connect the universe. Like what's going on?
Yeah, who's next? What are they gonna do next?
Because David Bowie would be next, I guess.
Right,
They all kind of met. They all met.
They all knew each other. Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's next, Mike. Who plays David Bowie?
That's a good question. Who looks like him?
Seth Green. I don't know why I just said that.
Oh God.
The only reason I said Seth Green is because have you seen the roasts of history or history roasts, whatever?
No, I've been meaning to watch it. I saw on Netflix the preview. I haven't gotten around to it yet.
The dumbest show you ever watch, so don't waste your time.
It looks funny, but yeah.
Seth
Especially
Green,
a history nerd like me.
he plays. Yeah, no, it's funny if you like it, and I like it, but there's something about who's the guy that does all the roasts, that he's in charge of this show. There's something about Jeff Ross. There's something about Jeff Ross that just irks me the wrong way, and I can't watch him too long.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but anyway, Seth Green plays David Bowie on the Freddie Mercury episode.
Oh God.
It's great because it's stupid, it's silly.
Yeah.
That's why I said he should play him. But yeah, okay. So before we keep going down the pipeline of who plays David Bowie in the future, what did you think of Bryce Dallas Howard's portrayal of his mother? Being that she's American, she's putting on a really convincing British accent, don't you think?
Yeah, she was great. I think her role was really important, and her performance played like this double role. Like she was the loving mom who really didn't care that he was possibly gay, or just wasn't a musician, kind of was out there. Well, the father was completely indifferent. But then as the movie kind of, I don't say tricks you, because the grandmother's the only hero.
Yeah.
That's really the only hero. That's his only real hero. But the mother kind of, you're led to believe the mother is kind of sticking up with him, or at least she's not really there, but she doesn't care. So she's not always against him. She's not with him, but she's not against him. She's more interested in her affair. But then the movie goes on, she's kind of like a villain because she will never truly accept him because, the way he is.
It's not until
he's
that
wrestling
phone
with
call.
that fact.
Yeah. It's not to that phone call where it's like, oh, yeah, she doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, she already knew the whole time. She's like, yeah, I already knew you were gay. So.
And it's funny because I was watching that with my mom, and my mom's sitting there, and I hear her talking under her voice, mumbling to herself, and I hear my mom going, Because as the scene, as he calls his mom, my mom's like, "Oh, she knows." I hear my mom say that, right? And then that's what she says. She goes, "Oh, I already knew." My mom's like, "See, see," and then I go, in my head, I'm going, "Yeah, but watch for this," because my mom's not expecting this. When his mom's like, "Yeah, but no, you'll never ever love somebody properly or whatever." My mom's like,
Yeah.
my mom under her breath goes, "Oh shit."
Yes, that's why she did a great job. Now she was a great actress, but
Because like,
that line,
no, sorry, yeah,
yeah, that line in particular, that's like the whole like gut punch. So you don't expect that. Like you expect to say, okay, I know it's okay. Oh, hunky dory, and then no, she hits him with that line. It's like, oh shit, you're a bitch.
yeah, yeah, and then because in every movie, and everyone's expecting like, oh yeah, she's gonna say I accept you, I love you, move on,
Hmm.
we move on. But yeah, that is like you said, that is the juggernaut punch of the film where it's like, oh damn. And then I guess the other one is later in the movie, or is it before? When does he try to kill himself the first time?
Uh, did he only try to kill himself once?
Well,
In the
yeah, well,
pool.
true. He had a heart attack the second one. You're right. Um, the pills. I think that's before, maybe.
Oh, he takes all the pills, right?
Yeah.
Oh, he didn't he just like fall asleep or something like that? Didn't kill him, if I remember correctly.
No, the pills. He went downstairs, jumped into a pool, and he
Oh
goes,
yeah,
"On my next trick, I'm
I
going
remember
to
that.
kill myself." Apparently, that actually happened.
Really?
He chugged a bunch of pills. It doesn't happen around the timeline that happened. It happened, I think, earlier.
Mhm.
He chugged a bunch of Vicodin, I think it was, and I don't know if the pull part's correct, but he did consume a lot of pills once.
I
They,
see.
they said well over 20 or more or whatever,
Wow.
but he consumed, yeah, and they had to pump his stomach the same way. But I don't know if the pull part is accurate. But man, imagine like pause. Imagine being at that party and just going,
Yeah, that's pretty fucked.
oh shit, like
That's one way to kill a party. Yeah.
yeah, one way to kill a
Yeah.
party and
I don't know
seeing.
if yeah, from what I read on, I don't know if he did attempt to take his own life at least once, but I think I read somewhere that he did, but I don't know the exact timeline if it relates to the movie.
Yeah, I was watching one of those like videos on YouTube by one of those respected channels. I can't remember who they are, but they were like the things that Rocketman got right and got wrong about Elton
Hmm.
John's life. Something like
Interesting.
that.
Yeah.
And that was one of them. They were like he actually did try to do that, but I can't remember if if all of that was accurate. But they did say the pills were on there. And the same thing. That's where I found out about the music school and all that stuff. So tries to kill himself. He clearly is self medicating throughout his whole career, as most musicians tend to do.
Yeah,
Um,
without doubt.
and it's interesting that it's an interesting thought because actually that moment happens in the movie where him and his writing buddy, who I'm sorry for blanking on his name, Bernie, they have that moment where he's like, no, 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 I'm the face of all this. You just write the songs. And it's like, yeah, I could see why he would want to medicate, I guess, himself because he's dealing with all the other BS.
Yeah.
His writer's not doing that. He's just sitting there writing songs, which I'm not saying that's easy, but obviously, it's a little different. So I don't know. You can't blame him, I guess, is what I'm saying.
That's true. You can't blame him.
Also, something that they keep mentioning in the film, and apparently it's true that they never have had a fight in all their career. That's fascinating.
Yeah, I mean they do fight in the movie, but it's like nothing too severe.
And
I
I'm
guess is the
curious if
takeaway.
those had happened. Because they claim they never fought. So I wonder if do they not see those as arguments or fights? And if
Yeah, that
so,
was my only thing. Oh, we never had a fight, but at the same time, they do fight at a couple of points.
I'm curious if they. Here's what, as a producer mindset, I'm curious if the producers were like, well, we need some sort of conflict in this movie, so let's have him fight his best friend a couple of times, which is.
Probably, yeah.
But Elton was probably like, well, we never actually fought, so let's constantly say we never fought.
Yeah,
So you get what I'm saying? Like, maybe they were just like, we have to have them do it, but we'll keep mentioning that they never did. So I guess it keeps Elton happy, but it keeps us happy. And,
Yeah, fair enough.
I
I mean,
guess.
I feel hard to believe that they never fought once. You know, I feel like in the music industry, everyone's just so high strung, especially with all that pressure to make songs and stuff. It's just kind of hard to believe they didn't fight. I mean, nothing too major, but
Right.
they had to have some kind of disagreement on something.
Disagreements are not fights, Michael. Those are two different things.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
I guess really nothing major. No major like arguments.
Yeah, nothing like
They
the
stopped talking to
scene
each other.
in the film where it's like, I don't want to see you again type of thing.
Yeah, like
that,
he fly. Yeah, and he flies back to LA or whatever.
because they're still
to work with
writing
other
together
artists.
till this day.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
They wrote that new song that you hear at in the credits. That really nice song. I want to be loved again, or something it's called. That I should sent you the video for it.
Yeah, I think it's I Want to Love Again.
I want to love again. Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. I didn't know he wrote that. It makes sense. He's
Yeah.
still writing all his songs. When I was at the concert, he mentioned Bernie like constantly.
Yeah.
When he had little interludes, yeah, he must have mentioned him like at least 7 or 8 times.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, he mentions him all the time.
And
And then they started, and he mentioned, it's just when they started, when they were like in the business together, and helped, how he would write the songs and try to give an explanation. So yeah, he mentioned it a lot.
What I love about this film more than Bohemian Rhapsody, and I think I don't know if this is why I like it more, the film, but the portrayal of him being a gay man is done much more believable, and to his actual experience in this film, that as compared to Bohemian Rhapsody. They lay it on the line. They actually let you know this is the stuff he did. These are his experiences, and we're not going to be shy about it. Unlike Bohemian Rhapsody, which was kind of like, yeah, he's gay, but
I feel like that movie made a big deal about it.
Bohemian Rhapsody.
I think it did. It had
Well,
a lot more
that's another thing. I think
dramatic scenes about that.
They made a bigger deal about it, but that's why I'm saying Elton John's movie, Rocketman, was more, you could believe it in the sense that...
I could see it. It wasn't like the only thing. It was just the whole weight of fame and just him being himself, the whole, Elton John stardom, which kind of was like, eating him up, and his abusive tour manager and just the general stress, in the music business.
Right, and the other thing that ticks me off about Bohemian Rhapsody, and I think I've mentioned this, is that he had loving relationships with both men and women that they leave out in Bohemian Rhapsody, clearly because that's not the story they're telling. But if you're gonna touch it, and don't just tap it and then whatever. But what I'm saying about Rocketman is like, oh, we're going to it and we're gonna talk about it and we're gonna sit here for a bit and we're gonna deal with this. Because this is because Elton John obviously he's still alive and he has a say in what a movie says about him.
Of course.
He had a lot of say in this movie, and for good reason. It's his story, and this is the story he wanted to tell. And like I said before about that sex scene that's in the movie, it's something that he did not want to get rid of. He even says it at an interview. He said, "I never lived a PG-13 life, so why not show an R-rated life?" I that scene, and also the orgy scene that's later in the film. For him, that's a very pivotal moment also, I guess, in his life. And why not show those things? I guess for some people, maybe for some people they're uncomfortable because they're assholes. Like, I don't know why you get uncomfortable. But I think I guess it needed to be in there because that is a big, he lost his virginity at late 20s. I guess, however old he was, maybe even older, and that was a big change in his life. Your manager is this first ever man in your life is telling you that I love you, and
It's also his boss. Yeah.
then it's also his boss. You know, so it's a pivotal moment in your life, especially for Elton John, who
Yeah.
lives life as in a sense, a sex icon, I guess.
That's also true.
Yeah. So I think that the portrayal of him being a gay man is done perfectly, if not, it's justified in this movie.
It's justified. Yeah. You're saying it was done better than in Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah. Which it's hard to explain, and I guess I could do a whole thing on it, but I'm not going to do it now. But I guess the way they treat homosexuality in Bohemian Rhapsody is I wouldn't say tabooish, but it's a bit different than it's treated with more respect, I guess, in Elton John's Rocketman. I guess I could put it that way.
Yeah, I see what you're getting at.
Yeah. So it says he lost to Virginia at 23. So at 23, that's a, some people.
It's older. Yeah, it's older.
Older than I guess
20s, but it is older.
It's older, especially for 19, whatever year that was.
Especially when people got married like at 20, so
right,
had kids like at 21. So
23,
yeah,
different era. You're like 50 years old, And for 23 is pretty big, and then to be with someone who claims that they love you and yada yada, all that stuff.
Yeah.
It was huge for him. What did you like? I loved the Honky Cat song. Do you remember that scene?
I vaguely.
It's
that scene. What was going on when that song was being played?
John Reed asks him a question, and they're in the little. He was just recording. Don't Go Breaking My Heart, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then John Reed brings him into the little closet, and he's like, "What do you want?" And he goes, "Well,
I remember that now."
Whatever he says, and then he goes, "No."
When they're in the studio.
Yeah, he's like, "Think bigger," and then it cuts to Honky Cat. I never liked that song. I never cared for that song.
I like that song.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, sorry, I didn't mean to say I didn't like it. I never cared for it, and it's not a song that I'm going to go to and be like, "Oh, gotta listen to Honky Cat." But the whole video thing and the whole like montage stuff of, like at the dinner table, at buying all the art, like it made me like go like, wow, this song's amazing. It made me like the song a lot more. Did any of the scenes like make you go, oh, I appreciate this song more? Because that one was the one.
Well, I mentioned the Saturday night one definitely. It's gonna be a long, long time. I'm probably not saying the exact name of the song correctly. It's when he does try to drown himself. That one.
Rocketman. Yeah, Rocketman.
I like your Rocketman. Yeah, that one, of course. And then I'm Still Standing song at the end. I think those are the most memorable ones for me.
Yes, the I'm Still Standing is what is so amazing about that is they took Elton out and they put Egerton in, because that's the video. That's the music video. Oh my God, they did that so beautifully. That was perfect. Because Antonio and I, were you as confused about this than Antonio and I was? Because when they go to the Troubadour, that little scene, as they're heading to the Troubadour, the couple of cuts.
I remember that scene, yeah.
Of Los Angeles, the streets of Los Angeles. How the hell did they get that? Do you remember that? Like they were showing.
What do you mean?
They were showing Sunset Boulevard or whatever that.
The Hollywood Strip.
Yeah. Do you remember like were you as perplexed as we were? Like it looked like they shot that in the 70s today. Like it looked so lifelike. I'm curious if they took that from maybe another music video or maybe another movie and like superimposed it into this film.
Or CGI, maybe some really good CGI.
It looked too real though. Like even if it was, I wouldn't have believed it if it was CGI. Like, do you remember seeing that, right?
Yeah, I remember the scene. I just don't remember. I don't remember it standing out to me like that. It looked authentic. Obviously, it didn't stand out as, oh, this looks weird. But
no, it didn't look
taken
weird.
Back by how I guess period accurate that those shots were.
Because what freaked me out is that they show a scene of one of the roads, and they cut to a corner of a street, but then they cut to the Troubadour, which you could clearly tell was made for the movie. That's not the actual Troubadour, because I think it's gone now. Even if it's still there, it doesn't look like that. But my point is, like, you could tell what was real and what was made on set, and clearly those shots were like, I gotta have to do my research and figure out where they're from, because it was too freaking tree. Because Antonio and I looked at each other and we're talking like, well, where'd they get that from? And my mom said the same thing. She was like, what? Are we watching the same movie, or did this like cut to like a 1970s, 80s? Like, this is weird.
Yeah.
It was strange. So, yeah, I know that part just blew my mind, because I was.
Oh wait,
like,
I know what you're talking about now. Oh, it was like stock footage, but it was like the cuts before they. Now I do remember. Yeah, I'm actually. Holy shit, you're right. Now
where the hell is that from?
I think that was probably stock footage that was shot, and then they probably just superimposed it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, where's?
I think it was just it had the tint. The film quality didn't look as good. It did not look. I remember the tint of the film.
Okay.
I think that was stock footage, to be honest, of shot in L.A. and then they just superimposed. Well, that just cuts to the the normal film.
We gotta figure this out.
Yeah. I think that's my guess. I think it was stock footage they took. Because now I remember exactly what we're talking about. I was like, holy shit, this does not. The quality just dipped for like 3 seconds, and it just went back to, that definitely was probably stock film they just used for the sake of convenience and having to get all these period cars and just do that.
Because then they show like deep into the streets, like 5 blocks down. It's like a perspective shot, so it's like there's no way you could have recreated that regardless.
Yeah, that was definitely just old footage.
And then old signage from like ABC and all this, like, that's awesome. Shout out to them for even doing something like that, because it's like, yes, you don't have to do it, but the fact that you made me, it again makes it feel more grounded. It has a bit of.
That's what. Yeah, I now my mind is clear now. I remember you talking about, but I think that's my bet. I think it's that. I think it's old footage they just used.
And it, just like the great Robert Meyer Burnett says, it has a bit of verisimilitude inside. It has a bit of truth to it. Like you believe this movie, like unlike some others. But that was cool. The Dodger Stadium scene was awesome, because not once are you expecting that he's going to become an actual Rocket.
Yeah, that was out there. That was a cool scene. And that scene, not the Rock where he goes to the Rock, but that scene where he's at the stadium, that was very like for the promo material. That scene was like on the posters and the trailers. Like that was like the big thing that they were like selling him in the Dodgers uniform with the piano at the stadium. Yeah, and
I guess it's because of the Rocketman song, but other than that, I didn't know why. Because it only happens for a few seconds in the movie, but I guess it does. I guess because that is the name of the song, movie. They do touch Madison Square Garden a little bit, not a lot. I'm surprised they didn't go into it further, or to the fact that he had the most concerts there than anyone in the history of anyone, until Billy Joel took that away from him a couple years ago. I think he had 60 plus shows there. Like, I can't even imagine.
Wow.
Doing the Madison Square Garden once, but going back 60 plus times.
Yeah, no, I know.
That's
nuts.
That's pretty nuts.
Doing endurance to those dudes to the concerts, just crazy.
Right. And I think Billy Joel's now at like 90 or 80 or something. He's at a pretty high mark now. Billy Joel, MSG appearances. Well, I'll get into that. But anyway. Okay, so he played his 100th show at Madison Square Garden in July of last year. Billy Joel. So he's well surpassed Elton John.
Wow. That's crazy. Oh, shit.
Well surpassed Elton John. So, like, come on. Kudos. I mean, shout out to Billy Joel for that, but don't fuck with Elton John, man.
No,
Oh,
these dudes, I want to know how many places he's touring for this concert. Like it must be over 80 shows. Got to be over 80 for this farewell Yellow Brick Road tour. It's got to be over 80 shows.
and I wonder what obscure countries he's going to. Like he's sorry for saying obscure. That's all fucked up.
Hmm.
I wonder what's the most out there place he's gonna go play. You know,
I know the full list. On the computer in front of me, the full list is on Wikipedia. I know it ends in London. It's gonna end December 2020. That's when it stops.
probably started there. It's probably gonna end there, right? Yeah. I think
Yeah, that's gonna be one hell of a show. That literal last concert.
oh, let's go.
Wow.
Wait, when is it?
Tickets for that?
When is it
Jesus,
gonna be?
every seat for that. Like December. I think it was just something December 2020. I don't know the exact
Oh,
date.
2020. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm reading it right now. It began in Allentown, Pennsylvania. Wow.
Interesting.
Weird.
Well, that's obscure.
That's obscure.
That's obscure. That's pretty obscure.
Fucking Dorney Park got the first.
Elton John. Yeah, that's gotta be something.
September 2018. So that was just last September. The tour, Mike, you were dead wrong on how many concerts. Dead wrong.
Right.
Get ready for this number. The tour consists of more than 300 concerts.
Holy shit! Damn.
Wow. The first leg ended March 2019, so just about when you saw him, right?
Yeah, just when I saw you at the Barclays Center. Yeah.
The first leg of the tour, which lasted from September to March, grossed over $125 million. The tour won a Billboard Award in the category of Top Rock Tour. That
Without
is
doubt.
fucking crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Oh my
Wow.
god.
Like he needs that money. The
Well,
126 million.
his children too.
They don't even need it.
Yeah,
It's so loaded. It's
I
like
wonder what
26 cars, something like that.
I wonder what he has now, right?
His net worth.
Wow. Summer 2019, he's going to be in Paris, it seems like.
Okay.
An additional... he's playing an additional show in October in Paris as well. A winter 2020 tour taking place in the UK and Ireland was announced in last November. The original announcement detailed 16 concerts taking place in England, Scotland, Ireland, and Northern Ireland. Yeah, that's... Poof. Holy shit. I'm just blown away.
Insane.
300 concerts. Okay, here we go. Here's a breakdown of continents. He's going to do 5 legs of these tours. Number of shows, 110 in North America, 53 in Europe, 38 in Oceania, and 201.
Australia.
That's 201 in total. But it says 300 plus, so he hasn't even announced the rest.
Really?
I guess he hasn't even announced the rest. Because
Oh,
that
wow.
says only 201 in total, and it says over 300 on this. But this is Wikipedia, so take that with a grain of salt. Take that with a grain of salt.
Always.
It says, wow. So he's going to be doing this for a couple of years, not just 2 years. It's going to be a bit longer, it seems like.
Damn. This dude's going out with a bang.
Holy shit. Wow. Allentown, Philly, Buffalo. Oh, Hartford, Mike. Look at that. Hartford. He did
Hartford. Yeah. He's going everywhere. Not even like the big cities. He's going to small cities too, like Syracuse. So.
Yeah. This is... What a gentleman. What a gentleman.
He's going everywhere.
So leg 2 started May 1st. First city was Vienna in Austria.
Mm-hmm.
He went to Poland, Czech Republic, 3 Germany concerts in towns that I don't even
Interesting.
recognize. I mean, I recognize them, but they're not like, when you think of Germany, you don't think of these towns. Yeah. Oh, okay. He went back to Germany for a couple. Wow, he loves the Germans. Dude, he's doing like 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. I think 6 German shows from fucking May to July. Yeah, and then leg 3. Oh, okay, sorry. Leg 2 ends in July. Leg 3 starts in September. So he gives himself a good 2 months off.
He needs it.
And he definitely needs it. September to November. And then back to concerts just at the end of November. So holy shit, he gives himself only 2 weeks off. Basically Thanksgiving, and he's British, so who cares? But Thanksgiving break basically, and then he goes then he goes to Perth, all the way in Australia.
Wow.
Wow, this man's crazy.
That's insane.
Oh my god. Yeah, so currently, I guess, yeah, leg 5 ends in Europe in 2020. Yeah, you're right. In London, the O2 Arena, the new, basically the Wembley for everybody now. The O2 is a beautiful arena. Basically, think of the Staples Center, but in London, because it's basically the same arrangement. It was where Michael Jackson was supposed to do his concerts and all that stuff. But wow, holy shit. I want to go see him, man.
Now you gotta get your airplane ticket.
Yeah, is he doing America again? Or is he... Yeah, I think he's done with America.
That's it. You missed your chance.
Oh, no, he's coming back to America. Sorry. I misread that.
Is.
September of this year all the way to November of this year. So that's America again. Is he coming anywhere near us?
You come back to New York, or?
No, he's not. He's going to Philly.
Well, that's close.
Philly, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Boston. That's...
All right.
Oh,
Not too bad.
He is coming to New York. Because it's
Oh,
not.
yeah.
It doesn't say New York. It says Uniondale. So it's Long Island.
Oh.
November
There you go. That's
16th.
your shot.
Let's go. I'm gonna go check out those fucking ticket prices. But anyway,
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill myself. Is what I'm gonna do. But anyway, so the movie's pretty awesome. I think it's one of those. It's one of those movies where I'm gonna watch constantly once I get the Blu-ray of. I know that for a fact. Or wherever streaming service it goes on, it's gonna be one of those movies where it's like, I don't know what I'm gonna do today. Oh, I'll put on Rocketman. It's completely rewatchable, and it goes by. The second time I saw it, I thought they cut stuff from the movie. The second time I saw it, like I was like, this movie's going by so fast. Oh my god! And I don't know if it was because I enjoyed it so much or what, but I felt like there was moments that were cut out, which I know is clearly not true. But I don't know. I encourage you to see it again. I mean, I doubt you will because I know you don't go to the movies as much.
Yeah, no, I probably won't see it again. But if I catch it on, like if it goes on a streaming service, I definitely would probably watch it.
It's completely rewatchable.
Yeah, definitely.
The soundtrack's awesome. Taron does such a beautiful. He's a singer. He's actually like he's. I don't know where he sang before, but they said he's just naturally gifted a singer, and so they were like, we didn't have a problem with him singing. We needed him to learn the piano, and so once he got that, boom, we went from there. I wonder how long they had him rehearsing. Like, I wonder how many years it's been. That's something my sick brain likes to figure out is like, when did production start? When did post?
They can find all those details online.
Yeah, how my brain just works, and it's like I want to know those things. Is there anything else in the movie that really stood out to you that you were like, I don't know, in love with, or something that irked you or something?
No, nothing irked me. I just think it was, really a fun film, and the musical. I didn't think it was stupid, like the musical aspect and the fantastical aspect. I wasn't really sure. Going into the movie, I thought it would be kind of silly, all the kind of, I was expecting more like a biopic, more like Bohemian Rhapsody, but this turned to be completely different. And it's subverted my expectations. I did enjoy it a lot. I thought, it was a great retelling of his life, but it was also a very fun movie in the way it told events. It wasn't too concerned with sticking to like timelines and dates and strict historical truths. It gave a very loose retelling of, the most pivotal moments of his life, so to speak.
Yeah, I again, hats off to all those people involved in this movie. I think it's a phenomenal film. I hope it wins awards. I really hope the Oscars, like the Academy Awards and every other awards body out there, they don't forget about this movie. I hate when movies come out early now, according to these awards people, and it's like, well, it's too late. It's like, no, it came out in the time period you are allowing for films to be, judged. So, what? I don't understand. That's like the cutoff is January 1st to December 31st. That's it. Like, end of story. acknowledge all movies that come out. And I think this is one of those movies where I hope it's at least nominated. I don't know if it wins things. It's too early to tell, obviously. I'm not even going to get into that. But I think it's worth looking at. It's a well-made... Like, come on, let's be honest. If Bohemian Rhapsody can get as many awards... And it's a really good movie. I'm not shitting on Bohemian Rhapsody, but, like, this is a far superior film, I think. If the Bohemian Rhapsody can get away with all those awards those nights, especially at the Academy Awards... Let's just be honest. Rocketman deserves at least the nominations too.
Yeah, yeah, at least deserve the nominations at least. I mean, also there's Bohemian Rhapsody is that Freddie Mercury is no longer alive. He's been dead for over 25 years, so it's like the portrayal of him is a lot more heartfelt, and just the obvious fact that this movie came first. Bohemian Rhapsody came before Rocketman, so kind of took the limelight in that regard.
Do you think it would have been different if it came out first and Bohemian Rhapsody came out second, like in the sense of in Bohemian Rhapsody's case?
Probably
Bohemian Rhapsody's
would have.
case.
Yeah, I think because we really don't have that many as a recent historic. Well, you know what I mean, biographical movies about rock stars.
It was. The last one I can think of was the Doors one, and that was in the 90s.
Yeah,
I can't think of anything.
Ago.
Yeah, which is getting a 4K release really soon. I heard.
Really?
4K release for that movie. Yeah, I don't know. It's something to think about. It's something for the people who listen to this episode to really think about. Like, we could talk about that on factsnotincluded.com, right, guys? So I think it's been a good episode. It's been a good discussion. Mike and I having a very deep discussion about Rocketman, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, and hope you do the same with your friends. That's what this is all about. That's why we do what we do. To get the discussion rolling, just get the discussion going off the table. And I hope you enjoy that. Listen, June 25th is coming up real soon. It is the 10-year anniversary. I don't even like saying anniversary because it's a person died. Michael Jackson died 10 years ago.
Wow.
It's been 10 years. And so coming out a couple of days after he passes away, we're gonna do a special, or at least I might do it myself. I don't know yet. A very special episode about Michael Jackson's life. I'm just gonna sit down, talk about what he meant to me, and whatnot, and do that, and maybe even have an article on the website for that, because huge influence to at least myself, good and bad, I guess you could say, with all the stuff he's known for. And we'll talk about that. This has been an interesting year for him as well, even though he's not around.
Sure. Time flies. That's crazy.
10 years, man.
I remember exactly where I was when he died.
Me too. So
wow, that's something.
Yeah, you'll get that episode in June 20. I think that's June 28th, that Friday. So yeah, look forward to that. Check you guys out on our social medias, and we'll see you there on factsnotincluded.com. Peace out, everybody.
Peace, guys. Have a good night.
Yeah.